What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the GamerDad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So we're going to be looking a little bit into Tom Clancy's The Division today, and there is an update that I wanted to go ahead and talk about, maybe do some speculation here and there, but it's probably not something a lot of us have already heard before. So a few hours ago, as of today, my recording of this video anyways, there was a job posting that was tweeted by Yannick. Yannick is the creative director of the Division game at Ubisoft Massive, and this job position was seeking a game designer at Ubisoft Massive. Now, if you click the link seems to have been taken down in terms of the website, but there is still a game designer, position under Tom Clancy's The Division 2, and this is apparently supposed to have a job description, and I don't necessarily remember if it's similar to the one they had posted before. So maybe they may have gone back to modify or edit it and all of the above. Now, what's really interesting about this is something that I've already, highlighted a lot of times, is the responsibilities of the way they've actually had the creative directors move across the studio and change job descriptions. And it seemed indicative that at this point, the creative director for the Division game is more than likely going to be creative director over a new project under this particular banner. It's quite obvious. I mean, for me anyways. For some people, they don't necessarily think that's the case. A lot of people have made the case to the developers need to continue to add to the Division 2, but I've always felt strongly that the Division 2 is a game that's ahead of its time, and a lot of the hardware that the game came out on in 2019 is probably not capable of handling any more load put on it. In fact, even the PC version of the Division 2 has had a lot of issues in the past, and so I don't necessarily think that the framework for the Division 2 is able to handle a lot more. The game was not built with that in focus. The only reason we're getting these seasons right now is because of probably some change of direction and decision making, because after Fei Lao died, and I can't even remember what season that was, the developers made the conscious effort that they wanted to go ahead and just stop supporting the game, but they decided to go ahead and continue supporting it. So I think that's one argument that you can make for, and you can also look at the side of saying, okay, maybe they decided that they were going to continue, but with very minimal support. But anyways, if we go ahead and look at this particular job description, it does basically set up everything. The person is going to be working with a small team, hands-on involvement with the game, design features, all of the above. And, it really does seem to lend to possibly, that area where they might still need some more people to keep working on the Division 2. But at the end of the day, I think there is a purpose towards this, because you have a creative director on a game that was supposedly going to stop getting any support, and then all of a sudden they decided that they were going to support the game all the way through. It might be that there's another project at work within Massive Ubisoft. It may not necessarily be the Division, but I honestly think that a Division game is not out of the question. There is no way that this studio is going to just abandon a very, very strong and sizable install base in terms of, not making another game. Even if they make a small version of, a Division game, in a sense, like something that they've always kind of, maybe toiled with, I think it's not necessarily out of the question. Now, with Heartland coming out, it seems like things might be a little bit more confusing in a sense, but I think it's starting to make a clearer picture that Heartland might be in a position where it emphasizes a lot more on PvP play, and then the Division and the developers can probably make a game that focuses on a PvE aspect, like say Outriders, or maybe what Anthem was trying to do, and just have a game that really does have the cooperative side of things. And then if there's any PvP emphasis, it probably will be very, very minimal, so that Heartland can take the shine of PvP, do that constant balancing that's necessary for PvP, so that the game can get some, freshness to it. It doesn't get stale, and there's constant support. What the Division has suffered from, in my opinion, is the developers having to balance the time between balancing the game for PvP PvP and actually putting content while also doing bug fixes. Now that the team is kind of small, I think all of that has just piled upon the existing team working on things that it's so hard for anything to get done. Apparel events getting, pushed back. I mean, they've been doing all of this stuff with a better schedule before, this past few years. But with the smaller team, it's really, really shown that there probably needs to be a better division of the way they actually have things, set up. Nonetheless, even if this particular job description does not necessarily mean that they're making a Division 3 game, at least it could also lend credence to the possibility that they're wanting to continue to, enhance or at least expand upon this game. But again, I'm going to maintain my original suspicion that there is another game in place, and they're probably at this point building its framework, building its base, maybe even prototyping exactly what it is that they're going to do with this particular Division game that they're making at Massive, or let me say this Division game that I think they're making at Massive Ubisoft. But I'll continue this conversation hopefully when we get more details. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. I'll continue this conversation as we get more details. And for those of you who want to check out what it is that I'm up to on YouTube, I'm busy on my second channel talking about some other video games. If you want to check it out, I could probably leave a link here in the comment section, but most of you already know where that channel is, so no need for that. But if you do want any resource of that kind, just ask in the comment section and I'll be able to point you to the direction. So talk to you all soon. Peace out.